Hi, welcome to Inside Guelph. I'm your host, Trish Stevenson. Thanks for joining us Thursday, November 28th. This is your roadmap to the rural city. We have a great show for you today, your weekly book review with the Guelph Public Library. We also will be talking about holiday makeup tips, maybe how to go from day to night looks. We'll get those from Rachel Jones. Starting us off right now, it's Mayor Farbridge with your city update. Good to see you. Welcome to the program.
Thanks.
You are busy. You want to talk about your trips to Toronto, which of course it just makes me want to ask if you saw Rob Ford, but that's not what the trips were about.
No.
Okay, what were you doing in Toronto?
I ended up in Toronto 3 times last week, so It was kind of unique to do it all in a week. The first one, our enterprise division, so economic development, hosted a breakfast called Quest for the West, and it had about 80 realtors, commercial developers, industrial developers, and basically it was a morning for us to promote Guelph and the opportunities in Guelph for business development. So as we grow, making sure that we're not just a great place for people to live, but we're also a great place where people can find work as well, that the jobs are here.
And so you have a forum to talk about that. How was it received?
It was really well received. Actually, it was sold out. We had to move to a larger room, and so it was sold out. And we had there was several panel discussions throughout the morning that had city staff on it, but also local investors, people who'd invested in the Hanlon Creek Business Park or had invested in our downtown. So they were able to speak from their first-hand experience about their experience of working with the city and also in terms of the Guelph community and what it had to offer. So I think that was a good part of it, because then it's the developer investor speaking to the developer investor as well.
Oh, right. First-hand experience. Okay, so all positive, all good for Guelph.
Yeah, so it was a good opportunity for me to talk about Council's approach to growth, its economic development strategy, and all the policies that we put in place.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so that was your one trip?
That was the first one. That was a breakfast, so that was an early morning start. The next one, I went in with the Chief of Police and Ross Cook-Connell, who's the Executive Director of the Family Health Team. And we were speaking at a Health Qualities Transformation Conference. About 1,800 delegations, I think, too. It was a big conference. We weren't speaking, we were in one of the breakouts.
I know my eyes just flew open.
So I don't know, there was about 150 people in our session, I think. And we were talking about the Community Wellbeing Initiative and a number of other initiatives in town that are very much aligned with our overall goals for the Community Wellbeing Initiative. So Ross Cook-Connell spoke about Health Links, which is a pilot that we have in Guelph that's looking at how to reduce healthcare costs while improving outcomes for the people that are using the system. So an example is there was one person in 2012 that used the emergency department 200 times. Very costly, and that there are other services in the community that could have helped that person.
I would hope so. That's a huge number.
Yeah, so it's trying to crack some of these and become more patient-centered as opposed to institutional or organizational centered.
Sure, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and the Chief of Police is the leader from came out of the Community Wellbeing Initiative and is championing something that's called a community mobilization model. And it's actually, we're modeling it out of Saskatchewan, and one of the people involved with Saskatchewan was on our panel, which is great because they're ahead of us, so they've got real data to share. So we're in the starting phases. So it was really interesting. And one of the 2 interesting pieces of data, and I learn something every time I hear this man speak, was that when they look at potential risk factors in the community, about 50% of them are identified by the police. But when they look at them and basically triage them, only 10% have a police response. The remainder go to other services within the community. So it frees up very costly policing resources to focus on other things, and it gets a better focused service to the person who needs it, and to reduce the risk factor that's developing. And so that's a really interesting statistic. And then the other one, I think, which is so compelling for us to be doing this work locally, is they found in Prince Albert, where this started, that 80% of the cases that they look at have a vulnerability to risk to children. So the potential for children's victimization. So 80% of that. That's very high. So
alarming.
Yeah. So just a really good reason for us to be looking at this model and how we can adapt it for the benefit of our own community.
Okay.
So that was the second one.
It's nice. This is ongoing conversations that you are having with everyone, like keeping connected. Okay. And your third time?
And the third one was open government and open data. And so we hosted an all-day workshop with the City of Toronto, the Province of Ontario, and it was at the Mars District, Discovery District in Toronto. So it brought together innovators from across the province who are looking at open government and open data. How can we use technology to better engage people in government, get them the answers they need, get their input on the decisions that we're making. So how we can use new technologies to enhance that. So,
oh man, you crammed that all into a week.
Yeah, so it was various topics all over the map. But you know what? We can integrate them. We know how they sort of help each other. Open government absolutely will help the other two practices as well.
Yeah. So. And is this sort of information that people can learn from you on your blog, or
I did a little bit of writing about the sessions, and certainly there's lots on the Community Wellbeing Initiative, and we'll continue to do communications around that. And then Open Government is a program that we're launching significantly in January and moving forward from there.
Okay, and you had 1 minute left for your last thing that you wanted to talk about.
Well, I wanted to talk about a report that came through at council about our downtown, and some very, we're seeing a lot of investment interest in our downtown. So we spent a number of years getting the policies and programs in place, and now we're actually starting to see it execute. So we're seeing a lot of development applications coming in for residential and commercial, a grocery store in the downtown, which I think will be very big for a lot of people. But you bring the people down, and then the commercial facilities follow, right?
Okay.
And,
so that was
but what we're looking to do is increase investment in the downtown by 3 to 4 times, which will be good for the city.
That will be great for the city.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I wish you'd brought me a bobblehead of Rob Ford from your trip to Toronto. Would have made some money on eBay with that one. All right, we're taking a short break. When we get back, Rachel Jones join us on holiday makeup tips. We'll see you back here in a minute.